A very good Saturday morning to you. Welcome to my own very segment called Meet the Personality. Today I have with me a worldwide known gentleman. He is popular because I say he has a very beautiful voice because he's been broadcasting for the past over 50 years now on Voice of America. He is an excellent, warm-hearted gentleman. I've known him very closely. He has opted to write a beautiful book by the name of Journey of a Broadcaster. I would like to bring him on screen and let's see all he has to say about his personal life. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
Thank you very much, Nilima, for inviting me.
You, as usual, look just the same like I saw you 50 years ago.
Thank you, same to you.
Mrs. Vora has to keep you very nicely to be looking like this.
Thank
But
you.
anyway, my warmest congratulations. You completed 50 years of your journey as a broadcaster.
Yes, Nilima, I'm very happy. This was a dream fulfilled, cherished dream fulfilled.
My
this
goodness.
book.
My goodness. May I know, Mr. Vora, how did you first get into broadcasting?
Well, interestingly, as I've said in the book also, engineering to broadcasting. I was originally an engineer. After India's independence, parents wanted their children to be doctors, engineers, so I became a successful engineer. But my heart always lied in the radio. Right from the childhood, I was listening to radio and even just record my voice just to see how it sounds. And then in 1969, Mrs. Gandhi, Prime Minister Gandhi's government, they introduced Yuvavani, the station, Delhi station for the youth, by the youth, of the youth.
Wow.
That gave me an opportunity, and the day was memorable. It was 21st of July, 1969.
So you were hosting?
No, I just got my first sentence to speak. And it was 20th July in America when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. So after that, I never looked back.
Oh, congratulations. My goodness. So tell me, sir, how is it, or how was it like, or how is it like, I should say, because you're still working on Voice of America as a broadcaster?
Oh, Voice of America, before Voice of America, I worked with BBC for 6 years, and then German radio and All India Radio. So I think BBC or Deutsche Welle or Voice of America, the basic idea is the freedom of speech. And these radio stations are popular all around the world. Whenever in any countries there are dictatorships where people are not free to see, there we are always listen. Whether it was Soviet Union, whether it was Mrs. Gandhi's emergency in India, everybody was tuning into Voice of America or BBC to know what is happening in the world.
So you were rich and famous as a child, and you're rich and famous now as an author.
That I don't know, but the idea behind this book was...
Yeah, so this book was actually, I've read the book. Congratulations. My hat's off to you. It's beautifully compiled. And furthermore, I would like to pay my respect to you because you included a page of mine in the book. So thanks a million.
Well, Nilima, I think I honestly believed in that, and the way you have seen in the book, there are 13 chapters in the book.
13, that's right.
And basically, my first chapter is about... it's a very different chapter. As a teenager, I visited Karachi, Pakistan from India. And my brother was a diplomat in Indian embassy in Karachi, Pakistan. And just 15 years earlier, my family came uprooted from Pakistan as refugees like millions of other both sides. My mother wouldn't let me go. So this is a very interesting story. No politics, it is the human interaction. When I grew up as a child, everybody on the street meeting my father, they would ask, where are you from? We are from Lahore, we are from Pindi. Now I'm sitting in a Pakistani train and the people are asking, where are you from? Delhi. Oh, we lived in Delhi. People started crying. On the way, a station is called Montgomery. Now it is known as Saimwar. It's my place of birth. I was 2 years old. I don't remember partition. But on that platform, I was emotional. I came back in the compartment and all Pakistani co-passengers, they celebrated my birthday. Yeah, so those human interaction, it's a very interesting. And as I go along, everywhere, every place, I give historic context to the people. Young people would be very surprised to know that in 1963, when I visited Pakistan, 1 rupee was equal to $1. And how interesting experiences I had at Lahore station. I had a third-class ticket from Amritsar to Karachi, but there was no third class in that train. It was only inter. Whereas, so I added there that when British left, we had 4 classes, but India got away with inter very soon. Pakistan still. so I didn't have a ticket. That whole journey. So.
My
And then
goodness.
another second chapter is about my stay in West Germany for about 6-7 months. I had interest in languages, so I studied German language in Goethe Institute, Max Weber Bhavan in New Delhi. And after 7 semesters, I was the only one in the class, one professor. So I went to Germany and studied there. So I narrated all the stories of that time, how I lived there, how people were living. Would anybody believe that there are Indians living in West Germany at that time? Somebody had to come to London to buy Indian groceries. So then I traveled to East Berlin and Berlin Wall. So I gave some historic context of the Berlin Wall and my interaction with German people. I taught English to German children there. It happened and worked for German radio. So they'll find very interesting stories.
Beautiful.
And here I would like to tell something. As a bachelor, I wasn't married at that time. I visited several European countries, but Britain. At that time, I didn't want to go to Britain. I was always thinking it's a colonial, they did Jallianwala Bagh, atrocities and this all. So I said, no, every year, Independence Day, I would give a speech. But then I came back to India, started teaching German and started radio and television. Then emergency came in India. That emergency is the story you have to read in the book. Today, 10th November 76, I was on Delhi television telling all lies. What government wanted me to say. I saw myself what is happening. Mrs. Gandhi's son without any official position. And 12th November 76, I was in London, microphone telling millions of Indians what's happening in the country. So this 6 years of stay and said, these are not the British people who ruled. This generation has nothing to do with it. And there are so many qualities of British people that at the end of the day, I fell in love with that country. So then we moved to Germany. And this is another thing which is in the book. For outsiders, these are two European countries, Britain and Germany. But no, there are two different worlds, two different systems, two different mindsets.
Yes.
The way Germans are exact and disciplined and all, England it was different. For a few months it looked like I'm in a police state. But then life is relative. We got a chance to go to communist Czechoslovakia. And I went to cover Leipzig Fair in East Germany. And that story, you must read it, how on our way back, Stasi, the East German secret agency, just for hours, we were stuck and they were asking several questions. They were following us. Where did we go? And how I handled, I was afraid, fear was there. So this is an interesting story. And then we came back to West Germany and it looked like it's heaven. So life is relative.
So how long did it take you to write this particular book?
It's almost 4 to 5 years.
5 years,
because
okay.
I wrote most of the things from my own memory.
Okay.
And also is more than 140 pictures from my albums everywhere.
I read there are 13 chapters and so many photographs I saw, very well composed, compiled. Where was this book published?
It was published in Washington, Politics and Prose at this time.
I see.
And we are trying to work out so that it is published in India also.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
this particular book is written in English and obviously it's called Journey of a Broadcaster and he's the author. Do you have any intentions of putting this in Indian language, Hindi?
Not at this time, but if in the future, anytime it would be possible, I think the first language would be Hindi. Yeah, we will try to do that.
That would be nice.
But I wanted to also say that then in Germany, my 6 years of working with German radio, and German radio normally doesn't make people permanent. They bring for 2-3 years and go back.
Give it back.
But in my case, it was a combination of language and broadcasting, so I got a permanent job. But why I decided to leave Germany? Why? We had wonderful German friends. My daughters,
Do you
Mona
speak
and
the
Lisa.
language?
Yes, I'm not only speak, I'm a professor of German language.
Oh, goodness.
I'm the first Indian American who taught German Georgetown University 7 semesters
Lord.
in 200 years history of this university.
Wow.
So with my language and all. But my wife wasn't happy. There are many things. We had wonderful German uncle, aunties. They come on my daughter's wedding. But that is beside. There were reasons why I decided to come to America. And then our experience of America, we are happy in America. My family is happy. That was the most difficult decision of my life, that quitting a permanent job, coming on at 15 months of temporary visa with 1/3 of a salary, with 4 hours of leave in 2 weeks. But I think we made it.
You did it for the happiness of your family.
I justified why we made the right decision of coming to the United States of America.
Did your family read the book?
Yes, my family
And
did. My wife read it.
particularly what does your wife have to say about the book?
That I think she said, I'm not giving my opinion as your wife, but as a reader, and she herself was a political science master.
Yes.
She says, this is a wonderful book.
Oh, nice.
And the way you have written it, and the way there are titles and subtitled
Yes.
in bold, we don't get bored. Everywhere we want
It's
to
beautiful.
move on.
It's a beautiful book.
We want to move on and read further.
Yes,
Read
yes,
further.
yes.
That's the interesting. And we can read from anywhere
Right.
with the titles.
Right.
That's it.
Now, I know a lot of historians who believe in putting the life stories out on television, on radio, on paper, pen and prose, but not everybody is a writer and can write a book like this. So you have done an excellent and a wonderful, wonderful work having to compile this
Thank you,
book.
Nilima.
It's
Thank you
excellent.
for
I read
this
it.
compliment.
It's beautiful. Do you, Mr. Vora, think that in future you will write another book?
You never know. I'm still working. I'm not retired. Yeah, and this I work when I had a full-time job, my family commitments and all. Who knows? Maybe.
Never know, huh?
We never know. So I think
you
I
have
want
a-
young people to read
Sure,
also this.
sure.
The changes.
Where is this available?
At this moment it is in Washington DC with politics and prose.
Oh, politics and prose.
Yeah, or if you in Google just write Journey of a Broadcaster.
Yes,
and
okay.
you'll find the book. Yeah.
Okay,
You'll
okay.
find the book, and
Excellent.
I'm sure younger people would be very happy to know
So-
how world has changed.
So if there is a young person out there listening to our interview, what advice would you give them? Not necessarily a broadcaster, but just about writing the book and compiling the life story from day one to this point. What advice would you give them? There's the camera.
Well, I don't know whether I can give advice, but I can suggest to them that to write a book, first you have to have your attitude in life in a very positive way. Yeah, once my mother told me, and her mother, my nanny, told her that if anyone undermines your work, if you think you are not being recognized, you're saying, don't stop your work. Continue to scratch longer line. And I would say, not that I have not come across difficult situation or people, but that was not my priority. And my book is completely positive, no negativity, full of information. So go on doing your work as it is, even if you feel you are not today being recognized or so, the day will come when you will be recognized. And that is the proof.
Beautiful, excellent, very well said. And also they say dreams do come true. And I hope one day, I've been broadcasting for the past 45 years now. So looking at this particular book makes me want to say, well, I'd like to write a book as well. So you're certainly a very big inspiration.
And a lot of Indian film stars are there also in the book.
I saw.
You also have done so much, and you are in my book.
I know, I saw. So there we go. We have a world famous broadcaster, Mr. Subhash Vora, and who just published a book called Journey of a Broadcaster. If you get a chance to read it, because it's beautifully written, and hopefully one day we shall have him back on the show to give us more insight on broadcasting and as a world famous personality. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you, Nilima.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for nice.
Take care.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.